One Rhode Island library told him, quote, "We are a very queer-friendly library. Our messaging does not align."
Hi everybody, my name's James. Welcome to California High Desert Preacher. Today's video is going to be discussing...
So let's say you want to host a drag time story hour with 7-year-olds. You obviously can use your public library for that, but you can't read a book about God at a public library. And the actor Kirk Cameron just learned that. Dozens of public libraries refuse to give him a slot to speak to kids about his new faith-based book called As You Grow. One Rhode Island library told him, quote, "We are a very queer-friendly library. Our messaging does not align." Okay, Kirk Cameron joins us tonight. Kirk, thanks so much for coming on. So they wouldn't let you read this book? This book was banned in libraries? How controversial is this book?
Well, it's a book that teaches biblical wisdom through the seasons of life to children and the value of growing the fruit of the Spirit, like love, joy, kindness, patience, gentleness, self-control. And I wanted to do a book reading at a public library, and I was denied by over 50 woke libraries that have hosted drag queen story hours. One of the most outrageous denials was Alameda County Public Library that said they didn't want that book teaching kids biblical values, while at the same time they're hosting a gender name change clinic tomorrow. And I'm thinking, wow. If we're so committed to diversity, why am I being excluded? Why can't I use your facility to read my book? You're a library.
Well, yeah. So we began the show with a story about how the president of Ukraine has banned a Christian religion in Ukraine. And then we get to your story where the libraries ban your book. So the thread here appears to be fear and hatred of Christianity. Why do you think a religion based on peace and tolerance, turning the other cheek, not showing vengeance, is so scary?
Well, my understanding of history is that the family and the church are two great pillars of Western civilization. And those two things need to be removed and taken out of the way in order to fundamentally change the power structure and the moral value code of the nation. And that's why parents are fighting back. In fact, Tucker, hundreds of parents and librarians are now emailing us saying, we want your book and we want to host our own Brave Book Story Hour in our public library. So here's my call to action. I want every parent and every grandparent in America to get their favorite children's storybook, my book or other Brave books, or a book of the Bible. Call your local public library that has hosted a drag queen story hour and say, I'd like the chance to read my book in the library. And if they say no, they're likely breaking the law and violating the Constitution, and they can contact bravebooks.com. We'll give them free books and all that they need to turn that denial into a revival in their community.
I think the posture that you're taking, which is gentle and calm and brave and persistent, is something I personally can learn from. Less outrage, more rational response. And I think that really works. And I hope that you inspire other people to do the same. Tell your story. Don't get mad. Be honest. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you're right, Tucker. And to Christians particularly, we often get told no in the public square. We go home with our tail between our legs, crying in our Chick-fil-A soup, waiting for the rapture, rather than getting on the offense and saying, let's invest in our children and teach them the values we want them to learn.
Amen. I completely agree with that. And the way you're doing it is the way to do it. I appreciate it. Kirk Cameron, thanks.
Thank you, Tucker.
If you guys live in the Victor Valley area and would like to join me in evangelizing the high desert, feel free to click on the link down in the description part of the video where you'll find my email address. Also, guys, let's not forget the Great Commission given in Scripture, Matthew 28:19-20, Mark 16:15, 1 Peter 3:15. God has called every believer to be a witness to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. Join me and let's take back the high desert from the pro-abortion, pro-atheist, and pro-evolution communities. Also, guys, I need prayer warriors. Please keep me and this ministry in prayer. Thank you and God bless.